watching BBN Tonight on your official UK sports station, LEX 18. Presented by Central Bank, the official bank of UK Athletics.
Welcome back to BBN Tonight. I love saying that. Let's talk some more Kentucky basketball now.
Yeah, to do that, we're going to bring in Mike Pratt with the UK Sports Network. Good afternoon, good evening, Mike.
Same to you, and Nancy, good to see you again. It's been a while.
It has been. You are like one of my heroes, and I was so nervous getting ready for this today, and you're awesome. So glad you're with us.
Well, you're so kind. I appreciate the kind words.
Mike, let's get right into it. Kentucky missed last night's scheduled game with Texas A&M because of COVID issues for the Aggies. So the Cats' next game is Saturday against Florida. The Cats blew out the Gators by 18 down there when the two teams met in January. What do you expect in this one?
Florida's playing better, gang. They're playing better. They're an outside-in team. They don't have much at the low post. They're going to rely on transition baskets. They're not afraid to pull the trigger on a three-point shot anywhere on the floor or in transition. So Cats got their hands full, and you're going to have to really play some tough defense on this team.
Well, Kentucky could potentially have a crowded final week before the SEC tournament gets underway. Coach Cal has said the Cats will try to get in makeup games with South Carolina and Texas A&M next week. Mike, what are you hearing about that? Is it going to happen?
I think at least one of those games is going to happen, maybe two, depending on how the last week and a half shakes out. And it's probably good that Kentucky's going to play a game. I mean, you would love to win it, have won the conference and don't have any makeup games. But those games could fall the weekend before the tournament after having rest this week and then only one game last week. You want to save your legs at this point in the season. They're really important.
Definitely, and we don't want to drop a game by any means. They're looking too good.
All right, following Kentucky's big win over Tennessee,
No.
Kentucky could be an 8 seed in the SEC tournament if it started today, but they have a chance to improve their standings with wins over Florida or Ole Miss. Mike, what's the best path to a championship for these Cats?
Well, the best path is continue winning. I mean, it's been a beautiful little run here for these guys. And I'd love to have seen it because, you know, they've gone through a lot of crap this year. And some of it's self-inflicted with their play. But, you know, they never gave up on Calipari and his staff. And Calipari and his staff never gave up on them. That's something that a lot of people miss. That's really important in developing a bond between the coaching staff and the players. And I think they're all being rewarded right now, which I think is just an excellent thing to have happen. And listen, maybe at the right time, too.
Hey, we want to peak in March, right? That's next week. Well, West Virginia transfer Oscar Tshiebwe seems to be adding a lot to the team, even though it's only on the practice floor. Coach Cal says he's now able to rotate the team's top 7 players in scrimmages against the team's role players. So, Mike, what do you think about this behind-the-scenes contribution? Is that as valuable as Coach Cal says?
I've heard a lot of good things about Tshiebwe. Now, I saw him play as a freshman a year ago and even caught one of their games this year. You know, he's going to go block to block. He looks like he can go to the elbow for a shot. But here's a guy that is pretty good at this also. When he scores, he's aggressive at the rim. Defense reacts and they come to double teaming. My understanding is he's shown a great skill set to move the ball out of the low post without turning it over. And sometimes for big guys, that's hard to get a hold of and execute. But I think he's a terrific addition. I mean, he's a guy that's going to play at the rim, going to play on the blocks. That's Cal's type of guy. And that would allow a lot of things to happen on the outside, because when you have someone who creates an effect inside offensively, that pulls the defense down, that opens up things for people on the outside. So that's what he could do, and my understanding is he is really testing these young fellas in practice, Nancy, to your question.
Well, and he's an intimidating presence. I mean, he's the big guy and he has the guns.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, did you see that
Yeah.
video?
Yeah, and anytime you can add a McDonald's All-American to practice,
Right.
I mean, that's got to be a good thing, right? All right, while their play continues to improve, some Cats are falling in the NBA mock draft boards. One writer for Sports Illustrated has B.J. Boston going 25th, Isaiah Jackson 34th, Terrence Clark falling to 47th. Of course, he's been out of action for a while, but how about these downgrades for Boston and Jackson? You make anything out of this?
No, you know, guys, I used to watch those things and shake my head, the mock drafts. And everybody's got to make a living, so they're going to have a mock draft. But things I read are not things I hear from the pro teams. And, of course, it's too early to really tell because we don't know the order of the draft, okay? And the order of the draft dictates what the needs are from those respective teams. So, but I tell you what, I'll buy you all lunch. I'll buy you two lunch, bring a friend, if Boston gets drafted above Isaiah Jackson. Okay?
Wow, Mark
Isaiah
it
Jackson
down.
is write it down, yeah. Isaiah Jackson is the guy that everybody wants to talk to me about. Okay? Everybody wants to talk about him. And yeah, I think this kid has worked himself up to a really good run in the first round. We'll see how it shakes out. And of course, you have your individual meetings with the individual teams, but he's the guy they all want to talk about.
Mike, thanks so much. Appreciate the time.
Thank you all. See you later, Nancy. Good to see you.
You too. I'm looking forward to lunch.
There you go. Oh, no.
Well, coming up next on BBN Tonight, we'll look back on Kentucky's big win last Saturday from a different perspective.
The UK Sports Video Department takes us behind the scenes of the victory in Knoxville next.